And the tent took on this kind of musky, kind of strange living smells and everything. And sometimes I'd fall asleep in it, sewing it, you know, wake up in the middle of the night and carry on sewing it. So for me, and a lot of the fabrics are made out of all my old clothes as well. And it took me 6 months to make. And so for me, the tent become this sort of like warm, like cosy, lovely, safe place. And sometimes though, when I'd be sewing the names on, I always said it was like carving out gravestones or something. And other names, it was like gave me like really wonderful memories. And it wasn't about sex. It was everyone I've ever slept with from 1963 to 1995, and that was the fetuses that I'd had inside me. My grandma holding my grandmother's hand when she'd go to sleep, listening to the radio. You know, not even one night stands, like, you know, 1 hour stands, if I was standing, you know. And some people, it would be like Phil Bermondsey, 1978, that's it, you know, nothing else. And there'd be a dash, and people go, why didn't you want to put his name in? I said, because I didn't know his name. Whatever. And so the tent got this, you know, I loved the tent. It was warm, it was cosy, this little mattress which said with myself, by myself, for always. Forever at the bottom as well. And when the tent got burned and I found out, 2 things occurred to me. One was, thank God for that, I can start a new chapter in my life, and you know, God moves in mysterious ways. And then the other thing was that I knew it could never be recreated. And Charles Saatchi, because he owned it at the time, he came and they said to me, could I remake the tent? The insurance for the tent was like £1 million. Had I remade the tent, I would have got £1 million. I said, no, I can't make it. So there you go. It's not all about money. And of course I could have remade it. I could have identified some of the fabrics because I had snippets of them. We could have got them printed. We could have got them made up. That tent wasn't made anymore, but of course we could have got it made. You know, everything is possible for £1 million to make a piece of fabric with some bloody things sewn onto it. I promise you. But that isn't what that tent was about. It couldn't ever be a facsimile. It had to be what really meant something to me at the time. And then people say to me now, could I make another tent? Or a new tent? And I say, no, of course not, because everyone knows who I am. In 1995, no one knew who I was. I was of no interest to anybody at all. And the tent was a pure, genuine thing about a journey through life. What I said was, a lot of people who went inside the tent, they came out thinking about everyone they've ever slept with, everyone they've ever been close to.
The British tabloids are well known for their love of a scandal, and Tracey is never disappointed. Her honesty is easy pickings for sensationalism in the papers, which earns her many critics. Tracey has become the spectacle herself. She is seen with the stars of the music and the movie business, who are now collecting her work, whilst at the same time there is big support coming from advertising markets. Her open rawness has the world watching, waiting to see what happens next.
They're really watching it. Real people watching this programme.
Why are you asking that question?
They're probably as real as you are, Tracey, let's face it.
They're just 25 minutes behind us. Think about that. How many artists are here from that show? From Sensation? I'm here. I'm drunk. Had a good night out with my friends, and I'm leaving now. I'm going to be with my friends. I'm going to be with my mum. I'm going to phone her, and she's going to be embarrassed about this conversation. It's live. But I don't care. I don't give a fuck about it. You people aren't relating to me now. You've lost me. You lost me completely.
So you don't think it is a generational thing?
There's nowhere when there's fucking mic on me now. I want to put it off. I want to be free. Don't you understand?
Well,
there's a great painting. There are great paintings
Tracey.
of Turner Storms.
Thanks.
Prior to this time, Tracey has teamed up with a bunch of artists known in the press as the YBA, the Young British Artists. This notoriety was possibly due to marketing and development by Charles Saatchi. The artists enjoyed massive publicity and booming sales of artworks made during the 1990s. Artists involved in this period include Damien Hirst, Graham Hume, Fiona Ray, Gillian Waring, Jenny Saville, Michael Landy and some others. The YBA relationship with the press enabled those artists to be bold and at times believe they could do anything. In the time since, there has been much backlash against the YBA, critics labelling works made in this period as tame compared to that of the 1970s shock art. Although the art achieved record prices, much of the public was left to consider if the value was due in part to the amount of public outcry one could attain. Journalists and art theory-based discourses that have emerged around Emin fuse art, celebrity, flippantly detracting from critical analysis of her art practice, even occasionally seeding into derision from hinges on gender, class and racial identity. Emin's work, rather than being simply a trademark, may have to be seen as a testimony to creative will. The subjectivity that makes a piece of work come alive also determines, to some degree, its survival. Tracey's strategy motif is commodified, distinguishes her from other artists competing in the market, evolving from invention to strategy and then gestures to the market, a logo.
Just